And hello YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for the brand new James Gunn DCU Creature Commandos. That's right, DC is officially here, kicking off of Creature Commandos before technically the official start is really Superman coming out next year, but Creature Commandos basically sets up to Superman, and it gives us the view of what the DC world is going to look like in this new cinematic universe. So, Monday was the last episode of the Arrowverse, and I'm the only one who's ever covered everything from the Arrowverse. So thank you for joining for those. Now it's time for me to start talking about the DC universe, movie universe. How is James Gunn going to take all these characters, whether it's live action, animation, video games, and make it into one big story? Well, I'm going to tell you how he's going to do it, and starting with this Creature Commandos. So if you don't know what this is, Creature Commandos is basically the brand new start of the new DC universe, and you have characters, actors playing voices, and these characters are going to be eventually transitioned into live action. So we have Frank Grillo playing Rick Flag Sr., the father of Rick Flag, who died in the Suicide Squad, spoiler alert. And you have Amanda Waller returning, played by Viola Davis. She has to basically start fresh, basically make a new Suicide Squad, but she can't use human being prisoners. She can't use them anymore. The government shut that down from what we saw from the events of Peacemaker. We all know Peacemaker Season 2 is coming out, and Season 1 is also canon to Season 2 and new DC, minus the whole DCEU Justice League scene that we saw with the silhouettes of the former Justice League. So Amanda Waller has got a new task force, and this time it's called Task Force M for monsters. So she's got the Bride of Frankenstein, which we all know, Universal's Bride of Frankenstein. We all know that character. She's got a professor who's kind of like, if you guys remember Batman Beyond, Blight, who can glow in the dark, but he's all skeleton-like, and he's got fire powers kind of thing. But he's like nuclear. We got him. We got, obviously, the return of Weasel. Rick Flag Sr., who is the father of Rick Flag, who passed away because of what happened with Peacemaker on Court of Maltese. Like I said before, it is canon. And we have like a fish woman, which, she's kind of like a fish woman, but she has like a fishbowl head because she can't survive outside of water. I'm pretty sure her aqua powers will kick in once we see her do some action in the water. And of course, we got a robot named G.I. Robot, who is a World War II veteran who pretty much loves to kill Nazis. That's a good thing. So that's basically the task force. So they are being assigned to basically protect a princess in a foreign country, because apparently there's an Amazonian woman who, she comes with Themyscira. Yes, Themyscira already exists in this new DC universe, which is gold. So setting up that right away, that's awesome. So Wonder Woman obviously exists in the world already. So that's awesome. So this woman has powers, but she also has magic. So she's trying to get some like rebel forces, and they want to go into that country and invade it. So Amanda Waller brings in the task force to take out this superpower Amazonian, Scarlet Witch kind of a character. And for the first episode, we get this just to get to introduce the characters. We find out that the bride has a backstory of why she's, who she is, how she becomes. Obviously we find out that Frankenstein, who's going to be played by David Harbour, who we all know as Red Guardian in the MCU, who's also Hopper in Stranger Things. Fantastic actor. Love the guy. I'm very excited to see him in this universe. So, yeah. So he wanted a bride, and Dr. Frankenstein obviously creates the bride for him. But there's some kind of drama. They don't explain that into episode 2, which I will talk about in a minute. And so we don't see Frankenstein in this episode. But in the first episode, they go to the country. They meet the princess at the time, and she's already smitten with Rick Flag, obviously. And yeah, the first episode was pretty cool. You know, I really like the fact, first of all, the animation is really beautiful. I like the animation a lot. But I loved how the fact that this is already starting the DC universe. Even though live action movies is going to start, you know, overall the DC universe. But just have this show set up these new certain little things that we eventually will see in future projects, like Themyscira. Seeing that Themyscira already exists in this world already shows us, yeah, Wonder Woman exists, the Amazonians exist, and the world already knows about this. So that's awesome. We also get to see the fact that this does play off right after the first Peacemaker season. That's incredible. Obviously, Rick Flag is kind of upset the fact that his son's dead. I don't think he really is dead. I think Rick Flag will come back, but we'll see. There was some cool, you know, Suicide Squad and Peacemaker merchandise kind of, you know, things. What we saw Rick Flag's T-shirt, you know, the one when he had to look like a bunny. That thing was pretty cool. Apparently, Shaggy is in this. We saw there's a moment where Shaggy, they say it's Shaggy, but I don't know, from Scooby-Doo, so that makes sense. I mean, even in the cartoons, Scooby-Doo has teamed up with Batman before, so maybe James Gunn will bring him in. You never know. So there's that. So think about that. So basically, the first episode, us getting introduced to the new characters, them going into that country. The princess is very, I guess, open-minded about the fact that there's literally a Frankenstein kind of a monster lady in her house, an animal weasel-looking creature. And she's cool with it. She's like, yeah, welcome. You know, you guys are protecting me. I welcome you guys. So I thought that stuff was really cool. So, you know, we're going to see, you know, the broader DC world and just see how people interact with other people with abilities, you know. Not like in the sense of how, like, a mutant. I don't want to burn out all the mutants. You know, we're probably going to see some of that hatred here when we see, you know, the metahumans. But, it's pretty cool to see some already the establishment of, yeah, some people are kind of, you know, chill with this. So we'll see, especially if they're there to help. So that's a good sign. So then episode 2 kicks off where the bride literally goes to the, I guess, the castle where she was created. And then we get the whole backstory of how Frankenstein wanted love. He wanted to feel love. He wanted to get married. He wanted his bride. And he got Dr. Frankenstein. I would assume that was Dr. Frankenstein. They really don't mention his name. They just call him the Doc, I guess. So he just builds the bride. And we all know that story. And let's just say the bride and the doctor do some kind of adult game that might not be for children. Yeah, there's some adult things in here that I don't recommend for children. Frankenstein gets kind of pissed off about it, and then you just get to see him like kill the doctor, obviously. And then of course the bride gets upset, and we get to see a cool montage of how Frankenstein is obsessed with her. He wants to be in love with her. He wants her to love him the way he loves her. And we see a whole montage of just the two of them going through all the decades from the, you know, the 20s all the way to the 80s to the 60s and all that, going to World War I, maybe World War II, and just seeing all that. Just them two, she's trying to run away. He's trying to get, you know, smooth over with her and, you know, fall for her. And I thought that stuff was really funny. There's also a great fight between the doctor with the skeleton doctor and Frank, you know, and Rick Flag Sr. That was a pretty cool fight. You got to see that. We also got to see the bride fight our Amazonian witch. That was a pretty decent fight. The bride can handle herself, so I like the fact that she's really powerful and really strong. And I cannot wait to see her in live action. Now, the voice actors here, they're going to play them, the same characters in live action and vice versa. So once we see them, you know, live action, it's going to be really cool to see that. So I'm very excited. Obviously, Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother plays Weasel. We got David Harper's playing Frankenstein. I don't know the actors who is playing the fish lady or the bride, but I'm very excited to find out. So that's cool. And Alec Tudyk is playing the skeleton guy, so that's surprising. But yeah, overall, this is a fun show. I mean, look, it can go off the rails, but this is the brand new, like I always like saying, you know, cinematic universes are like trains, you know. You want the trains to, you know, go smoothly, you know. The DCEU train died and got destroyed, and they rebuilt it to make the new DC. And hopefully this train can, you know, can have its test run with this, and of course Superman, and hopefully once it gets comfortable getting into the, you know, into the station, and they can start bringing in passengers, and then hopefully this can carry the DC into the success of what Marvel's doing right now. But I really love the fact that right off the bat, they just literally show us what this world is going to be like. Even though it's animation, but this animation is connected to the future movies, and of course the future, I guess, video games. That's what they said before. So I'm very excited to see what James Gunn's going to do. I think he directed all the episodes. Could be wrong about that. I know he wrote them. He said he wrote all the episodes, so that's cool. I can't wait to see what Amanda Waller is going to do with this team. Is she going to betray them? Is she going to learn her lessons from what happened with Peacemaker? Is Peacemaker going to make an appearance in this before his show? A lot of questions to be answered, but I'm very excited to say that DC's coming back for coming for a comeback, and I'm really excited to see where this can lead moving forward. Not there yet, just started, so we have to wait to see what happens. But I'm excited to see what the future holds for this, you know, new universe, and hopefully James Gunn can steer this ship into the right direction, or train, as I like to say. So yeah. So leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about Creature Commandos. Are you guys looking forward to seeing this? Don't care. You don't really care about the new DC. Just want to see good content from DC, which I do. I wouldn't mind seeing the new, you know, universe be, you know, created properly and handled well. But I just want to see good DC content again. And yeah, I'm excited about seeing more episodes next week. So leave me a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. Thank you very much, and have a good day.